We are back for Menopause month. Menopause month. What is menopause, Eryn?
So the true definition, which again I find this is very confusing for patients, is 12 months, consecutive months without a menstrual period. So,
which doesn't work for everyone, because if you've had a hysterectomy, then that's a difficult term. But that's the general term that we use. The average age for menopause in North America is 51, 52 years old. So,
yep.
That's what we're looking at.
And so what happens, Katie, if you haven't had a menstrual period and you have a uterus and ovaries for 12 months, and then all of a sudden your period comes back?
You need to go to the doctor. Any bleeding that you have that happens after the point of menopause, so if you've gone a full year without having any bleeding and periods, and then you do bleed, you must present to your physician. Don't I'll wait it out a month. No. You go right to your family doctor, or if you've already got a relationship with a gynecologist, you march yourself into the gynecology office and ask for an appointment.
And say, I've had unexplained vaginal bleeding.
Postmenopausal bleeding.
That needs to be investigated.
Absolutely, because it can be a number of different things. Some of them are big and scary, some of them are minor and non-concerning, but it's not you that can figure that out by yourself.
It still needs to be investigated right away.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the years leading up to that.
Okay, because a lot of people, I don't know if you've seen that skit that's like, is it menopause?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it menopause? We'll share that sometime this month. Pre-menopause. So menopausal symptoms can go on for about a decade. And pre-menopause can start anytime, typically I guess we start to see pre-menopause symptoms around 45. If you do go into menopause before the age of 45, that's early menopause, and that needs to be discussed medically as well, because not having estrogen for those years can sometimes put you at increased risk for cardiac health, bone health, and a number of other things, and so you need to have a discussion with your doctor about that. But what was I talking about? Pre-menopause is if you've gone more than 60 days without a period, and that tends to be what we see is the periods start to become irregular.
That's one of the main symptoms when you look up the definition too, is that a typical or average. So if you know what your average menstrual cycle is, so 28 is the average, we start to see lengthening intervals. So you might go to 32 days and then you go to 36 days until you get to what Katie just mentioned. So changes in regularity for sure are something to notice.
And anything over a week of difference in your cycle is considered irregular menstrual cycle. So that's something that you should be tracking as well. Other symptoms that you might experience are the typical ones like hot flashes. You might get disrupted sleep, brain fog, mood changes. Anxiety, depression really are big ones. So feeling like you can't manage stress the same way that you were, getting anxious over certain things. Multitasking can sometimes be problematic.
Not maintaining muscle mass as easily. That's something that we see quite frequently. And unfortunately for women, it's a lot easier for us to lose muscle mass because of the changes in estrogen associated with
And it's funny that you say that, because it will present to physiotherapy like tendinitis is. Tennis elbow, my rotator cuff, plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendinitis issues, and we tend to see that starting in the 40s and early 50s.
Yeah. It's a losing battle for everybody as we age. We start to not be able to maintain muscle mass as easily. We have to kind of really work at it. But it's so important for women for so many reasons. We could do a whole 5-minute video on that, why that's so important.
That and bone health. After 35, your bone health can either be maintained or decline faster and faster.
Guess what helps with bone health?
Exercise.
Skeletal muscles contracting on the bone.
Yep, and impact into the bone as well. So we really are strong promoters of developing a really cognizant, well-planned out exercise program. And we have a 3-month menopause program designed on Reconnect Plus, so you can always check that out. We offer it for a week for free, and then it's $17 a month after that. But it's 12 weeks of just hey, this is what a pre-menopause, menopause exercise program should look like, because we believe it should have education, it should have pelvic floor training, it should have really specific cardiovascular goals and postural exercises and bone building exercises. So really, really important that you're getting your strengthening and your heart stuff in and your bone health stuff in.
So it's very guided. It's a very guided 12-week program. Kind of takes the guesswork out of it. Physiotherapist led, physiotherapist designed. It's really meant for people that just want a little bit of help navigating those changes.
Exercise really is your medicine when it comes to menopause. So that was 5 minutes.
And can help with hot flashes.
It can. Ciao.